Hi guys, how easy is it to tell if the area you are buying in will flood one day? I was watching some videos yesterday from some neighborhoods, flooded cars, flooded houses, and one video in particular really touched me. I mean, all of them were touching and moving, but there was one video in particular that really broke my heart, and that was actually two. A video of children, quote unquote, swimming in water in their living room. I couldn't stand that. I couldn't imagine my children swimming in such water, and the mother or the grandmother sat there helplessly, perhaps hopelessly too. And the second video that just tore my heart to shreds and pieces was a video of a shower slash toilet with water coming out of the toilet and water coming out of the shower trap. As you know, osmosis is a movement of molecules from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, how are you?
All right, looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diffusion, on the other hand, is a movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So what had happened in that house was reverse osmosis and diffusion. Those sewer pipes were reversing pressure because usually sewer lines, they take water to the lower side. Now in this case, the lower side is flooded, and conversely it becomes the higher side, and it reverses the process, and water must release its pressure. Gravity must take force, and to see sewer pipes bursting in a home, that just shredded the nerves, the ends of my nerves. And we pray for those families. To see somebody's vehicle flooded, I know social media has a way of being comedic and comic and funny, even about serious things. And sometimes we forget that behind those homes, behind those flooded cars, there are people, emotions. Some of those have just bought their cars. Imagine you've just imported your car or bought it locally, it doesn't matter. And the next thing, it floods. So, coming to the core of our conversation, perhaps it would do us a bit of give us a bit of guidance and some preventive work if we understand how water works and how to select a property and avoid areas that could flood easily. Step number one, try and buy your plot or your house or your property in the rainy season. The reason you want to do that is the rainy season will always give you the true picture in terms of water flow, water levels, drainage issues, or even things that are well. Try and buy your properties in the rainy season. That's why we love showing people our plots in the rainy season, because then they can see the texture of the soil. Speaking of soil, it takes us to point number two, ladies and gentlemen, which is that mind the soil on which your property sits. So as we may remember from agriculture or geography, that there are about 4 types of soils. There is a sand soil, there is loamy soil, there is clay soil, and then this 4th or 5th or 6th could be a combination of these. So for example, especially loamy, sandy soil, okay? The combination of loamy soil and sand. Clay is the most dangerous place to buy land at. Number 3, avoid by all means possible. I put a disclaimer possible because sometimes you may find yourself in a clay soil area. But by all means avoid clay soil area. Clay has got very fine particles and very sticky particles. And so in terms of drainage of water, it becomes very difficult. And so water will always sit around your yard. So where do we find clay soils? Swampy places. There are some places I know, I don't want to mention their names because the purpose of our broadcast is not to discredit anyone. So if I start mentioning, if for example, there is this area